Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in today. As always, lovely to spend time with you. Now yesterday, if you joined me, we had a look at our lovely new tall sticker stencils, 2 in the set and that's set 7. So today I promised we'd have a look at a project using a couple of the sticker stencils from set 6. And these are a square stencil. I'll give you a quick look at what the sort of thing we're going to do, and then I'll show you what you get in the set. And I thought today I'd have a piece of black card to see if that would help. So you get 4, look, and they're the most beautiful. Again, there'll be a bit of glare, I'm afraid, from my light. Maybe if I just move it for this little bit. So we've got 4 different shapes, look. And obviously you get the innie and the outie. And these are just so useful. Now yesterday we had a look, just need to bring my light back in. Yesterday we had a look at creating a design inside, so almost using it as a bottle, and we created the beautiful little fish tank. But today I thought we'd look at more how to use them for masking, create almost like an urn, a crackle glaze on it using our stencils. I mean, there are so many things you can do with these. And I just thought I'd come in with sort of some little hints and tips, little ideas, just to sort of whet your crafty appetite. So I'm going to pop that over there so it'll remind me what I'm doing. And I'm going to start with a piece of multifarious card. And this is actually a 7x7 out of our multi-pack. And I'm going to choose 2 of the sticker stencils. So as I say, these are from set 6. Now, like I explained yesterday, for me, I just de-tack them a little bit. And the top corners just slightly cut off, look, and that's a great way of being able to easily just take them off that covering. So I'm going to start with the outer, and I've used this already obviously for my sample, but I did de-tack it on my jeans first. And I'm just thinking I'll put the first one, so I'm going to do the nearest one first. And again, when you think for your masking, that's what you do. You tend to work on your nearest thing first. Now, one thing I will say, when I've been using these, I am a bit of a tinker, and I take my brush up there. So I've got some Lavinia tape, low tack tape, and I'm just going to add that there, because I know I'm going to get some ink up there. Now you watch, if I get ink down here, I'll be wishing I'd done that. Now the first thing I'm going to do is outline. These stencils are lovely, you can outline them if you want. And so I'm just going to use my black fine liner. Now the one we did yesterday, we just used ink to give us our almost edge, whereas today I want to come in and have almost a black line around. And then I'm going to add some colour. So for this one I've gone for Sahara, so I'm using my Elements ink, and I'm also going to team it up with a stencil. Now I've chosen 2 stencils to use today. Let me just check what they're called. We've got the Cobbles and we've got Crazy. Now, the reason I've chosen them, look, is they're a similar design, but the Cobbles is a larger print. So to help with perspective, I'm going to put the larger print on the urn at the front and the smaller print on the one behind. Like I say, I think that will help with perspective. So I'm going to start off and just with my stencil brush, the number 9, the larger one. And I'm just going to gently flick a little bit of ink all the way around my lovely urn. Now, I'm just putting 2 on this, but you know, you could have a row, you could have 4, you could put 1 on its side. You could put some lovely florals around it. This could be in the garden. Oh, I mean, again, I'm just coming in with a few little hints and tips, but I know there is so much you can do with this. So I'm going to stop when I've got that. I've just got a nice sort of covering, and I'm going to bring in my stencil and just decide where I want it. And I'm thinking there. So I'm going to use the same brush and just come in and go round and almost leave a little area in the middle where it's very light. Look, very light. That's a little bit too light. So, but that's a good tip, you know, build it up gently. You can always add another layer of ink. If it's too deep, well, not easy to take it away, is it? So remember that tickling, nice and light. Let's have a look. Yeah, like that. I'm just going to actually come in with one more. And the reason I want it lighter in the middle is as well, that will just help to give that perspective, but also that shape. It will help to make it look more 3D. Yes, I'm happy with that. So you see you've almost got a spotlight in the middle, it's lighter. Now I'm going to come in and add a little bit more, and I'm going down a size. So I'm coming in with the size 7 stencil brush. And that will just, the ink will be more, oh, what's the word? You know what I'm like. You'll get a deeper coloured ink. I have that word blindness thing, and concentrated, that's the word, thank you. So those of you that are shouting at me and helping me out, thank you. So I always find a smaller stencil brush makes the ink more concentrated and I get it darker. And that's what I want. I want the ink darker look around the edge. And we're just going to build up around the edge with that lovely darker. There we go. And we'll just add some here, look. You'll never believe this, that's the doorbell again. You know, as soon as we come and get our catch up, I'm sure it just happens. There we go. I'm happy with that. So I lift that off, look. I can just show you. So we've got that lovely darker colour there and then it lighter in the middle. I'm just going to pop the lid on the ink. And I'm going to put my stencil to one side because I'm going to spritz this with water and get myself a spare print off that later. So I'll put that up there. Now, I'm going to take my stencil off. Again, low tack tape. Look at that, nice and easy. And to clean it, just like we did yesterday, a nice damp cloth, just damp. And then inky binky or a dry cloth, kitchen towel, and that's nice and dry, look. And in my opinion, I find it best to put this back on my carrier sheet before I take the innie off, just because it helps for me with positioning, but that's probably just me. So once that's on, I actually want the innie bit now, because I'm going to use this as a mask. So if I bring this back, look, that's what we've got. Now again, it might be you just want one of these, but I want to put that one behind it. So I'm going to use this, look, as a mask and just pop it, just slide it. I find it easy to almost slide it into shape. There we go. And now I know this will be protected. So, and I love the way that we're using both parts, the innie and the outie. So now I want to position this one. So I want it slightly higher and behind. And I tend to look at the edge here just almost to get it straight or along the bottom. Right, so I think that's straight. So once again, I'm just going to add, and I'm a bit thrifty, look, I'm using the same piece of low tack tape. I'm sure you do the same, don't you? So with my fine liner, I'm just going to come in and outline this second urn or pot. I'm just going to take my time, don't rush with this, and remember to stop, don't go right along there. It's important, don't distract yourself. And with this one, we're going for the blue and the blue atoll. So I've got my 2 stencil brushes ready. So like we did before, just going to gently add a little bit of colour all the way around the shape. And I'm just gently, and remember, we're all right going over this because we've got that mask part protecting it. I've just given myself a nice light area all the way around. So now I'll come in with my next stencil. And as always, I'll put in the description all the names of the stencils and stamps we're using. So again, I'm going to come in with the same brush and just add some nice light stenciling, but I'm going to leave an area here a little bit lighter. So lift up and have a look. Oh, that's nice, and you can see that lighter bit there. So I'll put that brush down and come in with my smaller one again, and then at the top, down the side of this stencil, and then just round the edge and at the base. Right, let's have a look. That's nice, that's deeper. And if I lift that off, and again, that's going up there so I can get a nice print in my journal. If I bring that up, look, can you see how we've got that lighter area there? So it instantly looks like the light's catching it. So we can take tape off. And we'll just give these a clean, and then we'll have a look at what we've got. So again, damp cloth, dry cloth, fabulous. And we'll put them back on the carrier sheet. Like I say, for me, it's just, I might keep them a bit cleaner if I get them back on that carrier sheet. But it's nice, this, as I say, sorry, excuse me, you get to use the inner and the outer. So that's what we've got so far, and look at that, absolutely beautiful. But we want to just make this look even more, give it a little bit more shape. If I bring in the finished one, look, we've just got a little bit more depth and dimension. And so for that, I thought we'd use our pastel pencils, and we've got them here. So I'm going to use the black, and then I'm just going to come in with this light brown, and I've got myself a biodegradable cotton bud, and I'm just going to start off, look, at the top here, and I'm just going to give a little bit of an idea that we've got a lip there. Now, yesterday we used our ink to create this, so today I thought it would be good just to use our pastel pencil, and we can just see same sort of effect but 2 different ways of creating it. And if I bring in my little cotton bud, look, and just smudge it, this does 2 things. A, it fixes it. I'm not using a great deal, so I don't need to use a spray fixative, but also for me, I think it has a much better look when the edges are fuzzy. And just take your time, just build it up. I just want the idea that that goes across there. Just add a little bit at a time, like we were saying before. So I want a little bit more. Again, just smudge that. And then it comes down into that neck. So for me, I think that, what a difference it makes. So I'm just going to add a little bit at the base here. Not too much on this front one, just a little bit. And then we'll do the same on this one here. So again, we just want to create a bit of a bit of a neck here. And again, you'll take your time and you'll play, and it is lovely just by introducing little bits. Just down the side here. And it's very therapeutic, this. You know, if Mr. Mojo's gone on holiday, it's a lovely thing to do. Now, I'm going to add some shadow around this bit now, so I'm just going to turn it this way because it's easier for me. So I just want a little bit in here, look. And then just round, because obviously we'd have shade with that second urn, wouldn't we? So we'll just come down here and try not to press on too hard with your pastel pencil. I found it almost moves easier if I don't press on too hard. Right, and if we turn that round, so you see how we've got shadow now behind. So let's just add some shape here. Again, we've got a bit of a stand there, haven't we? So we can just... Looks better. So you see how it starts to build up. And as I say, you can take your time and really accentuate. If I bring in the finished one, if you look, I've just built this area up here. And it just takes time to just smudge a little bit, build a little bit. And I do think it's lovely that something looks almost 3D, even though it's flat. So I'll just show you by adding just a little bit more. I say I don't want to spend too long on it because you get the idea and you will just love doing this. And then at the base, what we'll do, we'll add some shade under here. And then, so again, we've shown where we can use our mini hill masks and ink, but also we can use our pastel pencils. So I'm just coming in with the brown one just to add a bit of a brown sort of tone to it. And again, I'm just going to smudge this across. And I just love how it just need to smudge that out a bit there. You know, I start off with the cotton bud, but it's amazing how many times I do resort and just use my finger. So again, I just want to add a little bit dark in that because it would be dark under there. Just darken that and just spend your time building it up. But I've got to be honest, got a couple of bits. Look how lovely that looks. So for me, the pastel pencils are so good to just add and just take your time, build it up. But what we can do is just add a couple more little finishing tricks, just because, I mean, from here, you could add flowers. Like I say, there are so many places you could take this. So I'm not going to spend too long on adding any stamping. I'm just going to add a little. So on the first one here, the lovely Meadow Blossom. I love this. Absolutely gorgeous. There's 2 stamps in the set. It's one of the new ones. This is the smaller stamp. And I've just put it at a bit of an angle. And I just want to put it across the front there. And then also from our bird set, I've got the largest of the birds. And I'm just going to pop him on. Now, like I say, it could be you want florals. We've got our gorgeous little snail. I mean, you know, honestly, so many stamps you could use. So I shall pop that there. I mean, you could stamp a whole pattern on your urns as well as having the beautiful crackle. Now we'll just add a little bit of colour to our flowers. I can't leave it half finished, can I? So just with my watercolour pencils, just going to come in, and I'm going for blue just because I've got blue there, and I just think it'll be a lovely cohesive design. But I've got to be honest, these are quite small, so if you can see the top of my head, I do apologise, but I do need to be quite close. So much detail. There we go. And that blue, as I say, just really, and I'm not going to add any water, I'm just going to leave it with just the pencil. But what I will do is my lovely metallic, this is the blue. Just going to add a couple of dots, just not overcook it, just a couple of dots in here, look, just to add a little bit of bling. And as I say, the whole thing, maybe a little bit of pastel pencil just on the bird again, give it a bit of a smudge. And then lastly, just to almost make it look more of a scene, I'm going to come in with one of our acetate circle masks, and do you know what, the size I want's gone right to the bottom. Oh, not that size, is it? Must be the next one. Do you find that they always disappear, the one I actually want? Yes, that's the one. So we'll get rid of that, and just to make it look more, I just want some colour up here. Doesn't look quite finished, so I'll come in with the Sahara. Now again, you could use the blue, but I just think the blue on the blue, I think the Sahara. So it's going to be a sunset, this. Just a nice sort of little bit of colour in the sky. I'm not going to overcook it. Just enough to give a little bit of something in the top there, and I think that just goes so well with that. So we'll give that a wipe. And then there we go. Like I say, really the idea today was just show you how you can use your innies and your outies of these, and your charcoal pencils to add a little bit of shade. And if I bring in the finished design, I mean, I'm sure you're going to use different stamps. Well, honestly, I can't wait, but please tag me and let me see what you do. So these are from set 6. Now imagine you could do a whole row, couldn't you? You could have one here. If you had 3, you could do these 2 first and then pop the one behind. Maybe you could have, like I say, one on its side. Oh, do you know what? So many things. Honestly, I can't wait. While I'm chatting to you, I'll come up with more and more designs. Maybe stamp your crackle with our background stamps. There's another thing. Anyway, I hope you have fun. I hope it's given you a few ideas. And I'm going to go and see if the delivery man's left a parcel at the door. I hope he didn't take it. It's a new coat for Eric. His arthritis is bothering him so much and it's so cold, so we've ordered him a nice furry coat. So I need to go and check he's left it. So you take care. Thanks for joining me again. You look after yourself, and you know what, just have fun, please. Just enjoy what you do. Love and hugs from me. See you again soon. Bye for now.